When you're driving, reaction time is very
What?
important. If you've been drinking,
What is good, y'all? What is good? Mikey T, the movie star, here tonight. Live episode. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Appreciate everybody for hitting that like button right when they tap in, hitting that comment section. Whatever you do to show love to the channel, just know that it's appreciated. I am your host, Mikey T, the movie star. And tonight I've got a pretty heated debate, a pretty heated topic to get into when it comes to what some would call the pillars of New York hip hop when it comes to the mixtape scene, y'all. Tonight we got quite a bit to talk about. So when you tap up in here, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you jump in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling. You heard? Let me know what you think about both of these hip hop collectives. So we're talking about 50 Cent versus Jim Jones tonight. Jim Jones said on an interview with Queenz Flip, we started the mixtape movement, right? And it wasn't a crew mixtape. We were making real albums and putting them out as mixtapes. G-Unit was doing replays of other people's beats. And tonight, you guys, I'm going to go over the first G-Unit mixtapes. Tonight, I'm going to go over the diplomatic immunity projects. So hit that like button. Make sure you hit the chat. Let me know what were your favorite records off of all these projects. Diplomatic immunity 1, 2, 50 Cent is the future. You know what I mean? No Mercy, No Fear, all the G Unit projects. Let me know what you liked off of them because I'm going to go over a number of the tracks tonight. G Unit was doing replays, Jim Jones said, of other people's beats and making mixtapes. Jim Jones said it was a big difference. We were using our mixtapes as albums to promote our real albums. And off those mixtapes, we were taking singles that the people started loving and started putting them on our real albums. We saw that happen with 50 Cent later. If you guys remember, one of the tracks that they yielded from a mixtape project was actually called Rider Part 2. That's right, you guys. Rider Part 2. It was started to steam on a G Unit mixtape, and then they put it on the Terminate on Sight album because that album, much like the Curtis album that we will talk about tonight, was failing to pick up steam with the singles that they were releasing. But anyways, so Jim Jones was saying we were taking singles that the people started loving and started putting them on our real albums. But even in that, we put the Dipset mixtape out first before G Unit put their mixtapes out. Now go Google it. So for you non-hip hop heads, the 50 Cent stands that are going to sit up here and argue with me and be all up in my comments like, no, Lloyd Banks had 1,000,005 mixtapes. That's great. That is absolutely great. Lloyd Banks deserves a round of applause for giving out the most free music and being the PLK. Good for him. But what Lloyd Banks didn't do was make a mixtape with a barcode and sell it. And Jim Jones is so certain of this, he is telling you, go Google it. Here's the thing, though. Me personally, I don't have to because I know Jim Jones isn't capping. Jim Jones is not a capper. It's not in his resume to cap, you guys. If 50 Cent did it first, Jim Jones would say it. He would say, nah, we got the idea from 50 Cent. He would have no issue telling you that, but here's the thing. 50 Cent seems to be a bit confused, and that's possible for, for somebody to maybe forget. It's possible because they kind of came around at the same time, but not really. You know what I mean? But not really. Dipset was here before G-Unit. It is factual information. It's not a facto like Troy McElroy, like Troy would say, not Av, Troy McElroy. It's a fact. And this fact is so factual that the fax machine comes with it, man. For whoever would like to verify, and before you go and you Google stuff, before you go and you start jumping on Google and posting links in here with all your expectations, save your explanation and just let me finish. Because there's going to be some G-Unit stands in here that are going to be really mad. So listen, Jim Jones said we were making real albums and putting them out as mixtapes. We were putting out real albums as mixtapes. That's what we're going to get into next, you guys. That's the next part of this examination. Okay, Jim Jones, what do you mean by real albums? That's what the dummies will ask. What do you mean real albums, Jim Jones? I get it. I get it. There's youngins in here. There's young people in here. You're not old enough. Today, I'm going to be your teacher. And you're going to sit down and you're going to do your homework. And Jim Jones, Jim is going to be your guidance counselor, just in case you need to see him for guidance. You're going to, if you need to see him for guidance, just in case you need to see anyone for guidance, you can see him. And people in the back row, please pay attention. Diplomatic Immunity, the collective Dipset album, Volume 1. First of all, nobody names the album Volume 1. That means there's a Volume 2. Mikey T, why are you talking about people's albums? It's because Diplomatic Immunity was a mixtape. How was it a mixtape? It was a mixtape. It was your introduction to the Diplomats. And you know why it was a mixtape? It's Volume 1. There's a Volume 2. Who was on the mixtape? Mikey T. Who was on this mixtape, Mikey T? Here's another reason why it was a mixtape. Cameron was on it. Uncasa was on it. Freaky Zeke was on it. Hell Rel was on it. I pretty much just basically named all the members of Dipset right there, you guys. I pretty much just named all the members of Dipset right there, y'all. Yeah, Diplomatic Immunity was a classic. Diplomatic Immunity was a classic. So yeah, anyways. Now track number 6 on the album actually had an AZ sample. They flipped the AZ and Nas beat. You know what I mean? Well, why are they talking about they didn't flip beats? That's why I'm bringing up this track where they flipped the AZ and the Nas record. That was one song. All the other songs were original music. That's exactly Jim Jones's point. They didn't do the whole album like 50 Cent did. Like, let me just rap over other people's beats. That's called jacking for beats. They didn't do that. Dipset's mixtapes sounded like albums. For example, Diplomatic Immunity. That's the one that I'm talking about right now. Hey Ma, the remix, and the Dipset anthem both ended up on somebody's album. I forgot whose. And also Ground Zero ended up on somebody else's album. I forgot whose. But anyways, guys, we're just talking about Volume 1 right now. But if you want, we can talk about Volume 2. I'll bring up Volume 2 as well. I really mean it. That also ended up on an album. What's Really Good featuring DMX ended up on somebody's album. Bout It Part 3 with Master P ended up on somebody's album. My point is, all of these songs that were on Diplomatic Immunities Part 1 and 2, they ended up on albums. It's marketing strategy. Now, just because the album came out on Rockefeller Records, that's that right there. The fact that it had a parental advisory sticker, it's still a mixtape. They just charged you for it. One up for them. They're showing you how to do this, son. I show you how to do this, son. You remember that Cameron song? I show you how to do this, son, when he rapped over someone's beat and he dissed Jay-Z. Cameron can rap. Cameron can literally rap on other people's beats anytime he wants. Cameron did, you know what I mean? Cameron, do y'all remember what Cameron did to 50 Cent? We're about to get into that in a second as well. Curtis! Yeah, I'm about to go off on that. About to go in on that. Appreciate everybody tapping in tonight. This is an exclusive debate. Make sure you hit that like button, share this one time. Let's be real. Let's be real, 50. When it came to mixtapes, you got the idea from Dipset. Literally, Dipset was hosting mixtapes before you were even rapping. I repeat, Dipset members of Dipset were hosting mixtapes before you were even rapping. 50 Cent, you were listening to mixtapes. So you heard DJ Absolute hosted by Joel Santana. You heard DJ K Slay hosted by Jim Jones. You were listening to this stuff. Please don't pretend you weren't. Your first mixtape is 50 Cent is the Future, Curtis. That was your first mixtape. Dipset was hosting mixtapes before you were even doing them. 50 Cent, do me a favor. Remove yourself from this conversation of who started the first mixtapes, because hip hop heads are going to laugh at you. They're going to say, 50 Cent, you got power. You got power. You got vitamin water. You got your other stuff going on. Just stop. Just stop, because you know who you should replace yourself with. If you want to make this a real debate, replace yourself with D Block, because D Block is the only other rap group that could make an argument of this sort. D Block or Dipset. That's a real debate. G-Unit doesn't even really belong in the picture. And I'm going to put a poll up here in the chat as well. I'm putting a poll up in the chat for y'all to vote. I know y'all want to vote on something in the poll or in the chat, so I put up a poll for y'all. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Appreciate everybody that shares this video to at least one friend. D-Block or Dipset? That's a real debate. G-Unit? Come on. G-Unit doesn't even belong in the picture. They shouldn't be brought up in the conversation. 50 Cent, let me ask you, isn't Cameron Dipset? Do you know Children of the Corn? Do you know who Children of the Corn was, 50 Cent? Do you know Cameron had a mixtape, Children of the Corn, in 95, 96, when you probably didn't even have crack on the block yet? You were running around with Bang 'em Smurf or something. What are you talking about? They were calling you boo-boo when Cameron had mixtapes out. Oh, but that's not a Dipset mixtape. Okay, haters. Well, he's a Dipset member. You see how easy I just shut that right down? He's a Dipset member. So what? Jim Jones has an extensive list of mixtapes. More than Tony Yayo. I'm definitely sure it's more than Tony Yayo. Lloyd Banks has the most mixtapes. Oh, you're right. You're right. Congrats. So that means Lloyd Banks gave out the most free music. All the punchlines and all the PLK stuff. Oh, Mikey T, you're just hating. Why are you saying that about Banks? First of all, you guys, I think Cassidy is the PLK. Cassidy and Banks both have a couple of good albums. Did they get their just due? That's a whole nother debate, you guys. I don't even know if Banks has a better album than Joel Santana From Me to You. I'd literally have to go through it and analyze the track listing, but yeah, I'm taking it there, you guys. But is Jim Jones right? Could this be possible? Yeah, it's possible. 50 Cent is the Future was 50 Cent's first mixtape. 50 Cent is the Future was 50 Cent's first mixtape. He was rapping over everyone else's beats, which is fine. But Dipset was making mixtapes that were going gold. And he was actually getting paid for them. They literally showed you the formula, 50. They gave you the blueprint. No, not the Jay-Z album. 50, you didn't wake up in the morning and decide to do a mixtape. You say you saw literally what Jadakiss and Styles P were doing and what Jim Jones and Cameron were doing. And you said, I should make a compilation like they're doing and put my youngins on it and give out the music for free because I'm blackballed. They're not going to play my music. They're not going to play my music. We all remember how that shit went with 50 Cent back in the day. You know what I mean? 50 Cent was blackballed. J-Lo didn't mess with him. Columbia wasn't messing with him. We know how everything was playing out for 50 Cent. We watched it. You know what I mean? And you mean to tell me Columbia doesn't mess with 50, right? And before Power of the Dollar, you were literally struggling to get on the radio. You mean to tell me that you had an album out first that bricked? Power of the Dollar, the album that bricked? Your album bricked so hard that every rim in Rucker Park was shaking. That's a basketball joke. If you're a real one, you caught that. Hit the like for the basketball joke. 50 Cent's debut album bricked so hard, every rim in Rucker Park was shaking. That's right. 50's album bricked so hard, it was like a 7.3 on the Richter scale. 50, you had to go back to doing mixtapes. Any rapper that drops an album on it, drops an album and it has zero interest, is forced to go back to mixtapes. Dipset was doing mixtapes because they wanted to. There's a difference, man. Cameron's first album, Confessions of Fire, that wasn't a brick. That was actually a dope album that sold units, a lot more units than the Power of the Dollar. Nobody in the chat is going to tell me, literally, nobody in the chat is going to tell me that Power of the Dollar is better than Confessions of Fire. The point is, he sold more than you, 107,000 to like what? 5,000? Jim Jones's debut album dropped in 2004, in case you're wondering. Jim Jones' debut album dropped in 2004, in case you're wondering. In case you're wondering why it took Jim Jones 6 years to drop an album, Cameron's was 98. Jim Jones didn't want to be a rapper. He was more interested in learning the business side of it first. But anyways, on my way to church, is anyone going to argue with me that it's better than Power of the Dollar? Is there any debate in here? Come on. You're going to get some free smoke. Free smoke. If you're a non-smoker, you need to leave because you're going to get some type of smoke up in here today, secondhand. It's like a hot box in here today, you guys. It's like 20 blunts in a car with the windows closed. You're going to get the smoke today. So anyways, check plus for Jim Jones. Hit that like button, share this video. Check plus for Jim Jones. His album, his debut album was better than 50's first album too. But let's stop doing the album stuff. Let's stop mixtapes. Now, if 50 said D Block started doing mixtapes before y'all, Dipset, I might have respected it. I would have did my research, but I would have said maybe he's got a valid point because D Block has been doing this shit forever. They probably had mixtapes with Puffy. They probably had mixtapes with Puff Daddy and shit, you guys. You hear what I'm saying? I would have given 50 the benefit of the doubt if he said that. But he himself and G-Unit, they honestly don't belong in the conversation. Whoever listens to music will say, you didn't have no Street Sweeper Entertainment presents G-Unit. It was Street Sweeper Entertainment presents the Diplomats. You didn't have that K-Slay. You didn't have that. K-Slay was there. He was literally the official DJ. Rest in peace. He was like their official DJ. Rest in peace, DJ K-Slay. He was pretty much their official DJ. Who was your official DJ, 50? Sha Money? Who, kid? You like had mixtapes that were presented by yourself. I don't even think you had an official DJ hosting. Who was the official DJ on 50 Cent? Who was the official DJ on 50 Cent is the future, you guys? But it doesn't matter because I never heard DJ Cluminati. I never heard Cluminati on a 50 Cent song. And they've been doing this longer than you is my point. D-Block has been doing this longer than you. So if you want to have a debate, I'm going to post up a poll. Who started doing mixtapes first? Dipset, G-Unit, and please, people, analyze the facts. Let's be real. Joel Santana, shit. He's got more mixtapes than Tony Yayo, too. Yayo's grind was seriously lacking. He was like, I came out of jail. 50 Cent set me up. I got thoughts of a predicate felon out. What do I need to do mixtapes for? Cam put out Joel Santana. He put Joel Santana on. But Joel Santana didn't act like, oh, yeah, nah, I don't want to do mixtapes. I worked with Chris Brown. I don't want to do mixtapes. He had grind. He had hustle. Uncasa had more grind and hustle than Tony Yayo. Casa had more mixtapes than Tony Yayo, too. I'm talking about Casa La Castellonia, the Crayon Man, Rockstar. I got shit to do, you guys. I'm not just going to sit here and listen to mixtapes, and I'm sorry if I butchered those titles. That mixtape list right there would be longer than my you-know-what. No freaky. G-Unit was doing replays of other people's beats and making mixtapes. G-Unit was doing replays. Replays, you guys. You guys hearing that? Everybody talking about G-Unit flaming the mixtape scene? Everyone's talking about G-Unit flaming the mixtape scene. Listen to what G-Unit was doing replays. G-Unit was doing replays, man. We all know it. I mean, they sounded dope, whatever. Meaning they weren't original songs. That's easy to do. You know what I mean? What's a hot song right now? What's a hot song right now? You know, it's nothing but a little baby fat. That song, it's already a hit. That song, it's already a hit. I'm gonna remix it and make it funny. That's easy to do. Dipset wasn't doing that, you guys. That's called jacking for beats. What's that song Eminem has? What's that Eminem song? Anyway, that Eminem song is fire. And what 50 comes on, it says, "Don't think I won't hit you because I'm popular." Except it sounded a little bit hotter than it was because the beat was already hot. Go, Curtis. I got this figured out, 50 was thinking. Name any song, literally, you guys. Name any song off 50 Cent is the Future. It was a song that was already popping and lit. We're talking facts now, you guys. Now we're talking facts. It was literally a song that was already popping and lit. So, anyways, let's keep going with it. Let's keep going with it. What did 50 also have? He did Call Me, which was a tweet hit song before he did it. This song Bump That is not it's not his beat. I'm pretty sure that's Mobb Deep. Bump That Street Mixtape. The Banks Workout is a Jay-Z beat. He jacked for the Banks Workout. That's a hit. You see what he's doing? They're saying, who's this guy rapping on the Jay-Z beat? Who's this guy? You know what I mean? Who's this guy on the Mobb Deep beat? It's easy to do that. Dipset wasn't really doing that. They were rapping over original music. Their mixtapes sounded like albums because they had Dame Dash in their corner who could get any beats cleared. You want that? Kanye West, give him that shit. Kanye, you heard? You heard? Nah, don't give that shit to state property because they want it and because I said so. If Kanye West has something to say about it, he can see me. That's just the way that it was. Dame Dash was running shit back then. So the Banks Workout, that's a Jay-Z beat. It's called Lyrical Exercise. It's called Lyrical Exercise, I believe, you guys. 50 Cent sampled Mace. Tell Me What You Want. His version is called Just Effing Around. He did the Total song. It's an R&B song by an R&B group called Total. It was a hit. It was a hit before 50 got on it. 50 is getting on hits because it's the easy thing to do. He is harmonizing on them. Max B literally took a page out of 50's book. You know what I mean? When you heard Max B saying $1 million baby over Ashanti's Baby, you know what I mean? He got that from 50. He watched the shit and he said, I can do this. I don't have a producer in my corner. I don't have a Dame Dash. I'm just going to take other people's beats and put my twist on them. Plus, I can actually sing better than 50 Cent. The ladies are going to love this. I'm going to redo Sexy Love. That's actually one of my favorite Max B songs. Beyonce, I'm just going to take it and then I'm going to redo it. My point is this is kind of what Jim Jones was saying. Let's talk about No Mercy, No Fear. And I need everybody in here to share this video one time, man. My point is, this is exactly what Jim Jones was saying. Let's talk about No Mercy, No Fear. Banks Victory Freestyle. Jeez, I wonder what beat Lloyd Banks is rapping on you guys. This is why when you talk to everybody, and you know what I mean? And by the way, it's the notorious, it's the legendary B.I.G. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mikey T, the movie star. This is why when you talk to everyone, they say, how are you going to say Banks isn't fire? Listen to the victory freestyle. Why should I? He sounds fire because he is rapping on a Biggie beat. He hasn't rapped like that since. He hasn't rapped like that since. It's an easy formula that works. Banks is horrible at picking beats. Cody, the course of the inevitable? What the hell? Wake me up when it's done. Part 1 and part 2. By the way, the course of the inevitable? What is this? A Marvel movie? Is this about the Green Lantern or something? And I'm not shitting on the Banks fans because I get this shit all the time. You know what I mean? I get it all the time. Listen to the Banks freestyle, the Banks victory freestyle. He's rapping on the Biggie beat. That is easy to do. You know, I love Styles P mixtapes. They feel like albums. He has Super Mario, he has Poobs all over the shit. Original music. He isn't rapping over Jay-Z and DMX and whatever was hot. That's why he stands out as a lyricist more than 50 Cent does. He is the hardest out. He is not going to flow over an R&B beat. You know what I mean? He has a song. I'm not sure if it's official or unofficial or an official or unofficial remix. The joint with Beyonce, it was Party. The shit was fire. Now he jumps on R&B cuts occasionally, but when he does it right. But for the most part, when you hear Style P's mixtape, you're basically hearing an album. You know what I'm saying, you guys? You're not getting shortchanged. You don't think Styles P only sounds hot because he's using a Jay-Z beat. You're not saying that type of shit to yourself. You understand what I'm saying here? The next track is called Backseat. Tony Yayo actually had a street video for this back in the day. It was over LL Cool J's I Shot Ya, which is literally the dopest beat ever. One of the most classic rap songs ever created. Yeah, I see the strategy. I see the strategy. I can see the strategy here, you guys. So, of course, that's going to work, right? So, let's move on. After My Cheddar. That was an R&B song. And your friends, they see it too, right? That was another LL Cool J song. 50 Cent's really jacking LL Cool J. Of course, that's going to work, right? But the album Exit 13 didn't work when they actually began to collaborate on an album. You know what I mean? 50's really jacking LL Cool J, man. 50 then sampled, or not sampled, or he basically took the Eminem beat for Soldier. He's going to get a pass for that one, though, you guys. He's going to get a pass for that one, too. That's his label mate. And then 50 tells you exactly who he is jacking. I'm not Talib, and I'm not Kweli. Track 9 on No Mercy, No Fear. EMS. He sampled the Kweli joint. Say What You Want. Track 11. This one is interesting. It's all poison, ecstasy, coke. You say it's love, it's just poison. I hear Nas. The name of the song is Poison. They're jacking beats. Moving further, track 13, Funk Flex, Jay-Z and Beanie Siegel. Legendary song, Guess Who's Back? Enough said right there. We all know whose beat that is. Who Kid? Who Kid? He even goes as far to jack Black Rob's Whoa beat. In track 14, that's not whoa. You didn't do it better than Black Rob. WHOA. Whoa. Damn 50 Cent. Damn 50. He took the Black Rob beat. He took that whoa. No, that's not whoa. That's not whoa. It's not whoa. He's not pulling up in the Porsche slow like whoa. No, no, no. He should have just left that one alone. You see how easy this is when you really sit back and you analyze it? It was easy for 50 to do a mixtape like this because they were hits before. They were hits before he got on them. So it makes them sound, you know what I mean, better than they really are. Oh, but Mikey T, I'm telling you, the Banks freestyle, he did it better than Biggie. Y'all really think Banks sounded better than Biggie on the Victory freestyle? Y'all really think Banks sounded better than Biggie on the Victory freestyle? That's how I'm going to know if you're a stan or you're a super stan, because you're one or the other. Who's really going to tell me 50's Who Kid freestyle, track 14, where he is rapping over Black Rob's Whoa beat? Who is going to tell me that that is better than Whoa? Who's going to tell me track 8, Soldier, is better than Eminem's version of Soldier? Who's going to tell me that? Who's going to tell me that track 4, Fat Bitch, is better than Baby Fat by Talib Kweli, featuring Devin the Dude? I like the original better. It was doper. Anyways, what's next? Bump Heads? Who the hell is going to tell me the Diddy version, I Need a Girl, wasn't better? Again, this is an easy thing for 50 Cent to do, you guys. Again, this is an easy thing to do. Everybody remembers that song because it was a joint for the ladies. G-Unit, UTP. That song was horrible, by the way. Wanksta, I'm pretty sure that was a Dre beat. One of the only original beats he had on there. His first 2 mixtapes, he just did a whole bunch of jacking for beats formats. And it's easy, you know, it's an easy thing to do. Dipset sounded dope in their projects. Did you hear Cameron? I argue with my mother, spring, summer, fall, and winter. Time to get off that table, Cameron. It's time to get off that table, Cameron. It's dinner time. It sounded better almost than Nas in the AZ version. I was like, what? You heard Jim Jones on that song? I'm in the burgundy Benz, swerving B as I'm watching snowfall. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it was really comparable to the original. It was close. You know what I mean? It's not like 50's joints. When Dipset redo joints a lot of the time, they do sound better. You know what I mean? They do sound better than the original. You know what I mean? Dipset redid Push It, an old 80s disco song. And Dipset rejuvenated that shit. Nobody was expecting that. They pulled it off real good. Ooh, baby, baby. Yeah, that's the one that your mother used to sing. Literally, your mother used to sing it while she was making cookies in the kitchen. You know what I mean? 50 couldn't do something like that. He couldn't bring back an 80s joint. He just couldn't. They were doing stuff that was mad unique. You know what I mean? You wouldn't expect some people like Dipset to do that because other people out there would be like, yo, that shit's corny. Push It real good. They were talking about pushing work, stupid. But anyways, they were doing stuff that was too cool. You know what I mean? Too cool for school. We listen to what Jim Jones said. He said, we put the Dipset mixtape out first before G-Unit put their mixtape out. Jim Jones is right. Check plus for Jim Jones. I don't need Google to tell me this. I'm a hip hop head. Here's the thing with 50. 50 is doing this to start up a flare. You know what I mean? I would like to see a G-Unit versus Dipset versus battle. Who the hell wouldn't want to see that? You know what I mean? Who wouldn't want to see that versus battle? Hell, I would even be open. Do you guys got confidence in Lloyd Banks and Tony Yayo? You know what I mean? You guys telling me right now that Dipset wouldn't smoke the Timberland boots off of Banks and Yayo? I said it, y'all. I'm talking my shit tonight. Give me Yayo and Banks's top 10 songs that are going to go against Joel Santana and Jim Jones. You give me those, and I'll give you 25 songs from Jim and Joel's. I'll give you 25 from L's and Jones. Are we being for real right now, you guys? Lloyd Banks and Tony Yayo versus Jim Jones and Joel Santana versus battle. Poll question: who's winning? Mikey T, you have to include 50 Cent and Cameron. You got to include 50 and Cameron, Mikey T. But okay, let's not act a fool. Let's not act like Cameron doesn't have hits. 50 Cent is going to play in the club, candy shop, many men, bitch, I'm the man. What else is 50 coming with against Cam? Candy shop, right? I said that. Magic stick. What's 50 really doing? Cam's going to respond with doper tracks. Cameron has an extensive catalog to combat 50 Cent songs. So even if we go there, Dipset wins against G-Unit in a battle. 50 Cent knows this. I mean, why do you think G-Unit was never in the verses, guys? Why do you think G-Unit was never in the verses? Let's be real. Let's talk about it, man. Because 50's done many interviews talking about not appearing in verses. Everyone and their mom did a verses, man. Dipset lost the D Block. It's all opinion, though. We know that. Dipset wasn't embarrassed. They battled one of the greatest rap groups in history. 50, are you scared because G-Unit would lose? Are you scared because G-Unit might lose against Dipset and Rockefeller or D-Block? So what are you talking about? Why do you think, guys in here, why do you think there is no G-Unit versus anybody? Oh, it's real quiet now, right? It's real quiet now. What are y'all passed out from all the smoke I'm giving out tonight? I'm going to ask you again. I'm asking a simple question. Why did G-Unit never have a versus against anybody? Anybody. I know who would be down to do a versus. I know who would be down to do a versus. You guys want to know who? Nobody, baby. Keith Sweat. They would do a versus against Keith Sweat, and Keith Sweat would perform Nobody like 11 times in a row, just like Soulja Boy did. You know what I mean? And then G-Unit would be like, we cooked Keith Sweat in a battle. G-Unit for life. G-Unit had their run, guys. G-Unit had their run. You know what I mean? They had their run in their career, but at this point, they're washed up. You know, they couldn't win a versus against D Block or Dipset. So let's dead that now. That's right. Rest in peace to Maserati Fox. So when Jim Jones went on Queen's Flip show in his crispy blood red attire, and shout out to Jim Jones for that outfit as well, pissing people off on purpose. Since day one, you gotta love Jim Jones, because Hassan Campbell was sitting back watching that with his face scrunched up like someone took 15 shits and didn't flush the toilet, hating. He's watching that face scrunched up, hating hard body with the scrunched up face like someone took 15 shits in the subway station bathroom and no one flushed the toilet. That's how Hassan Campbell was looking when Jim Jones was wearing that crispy red attire on the Queen's Flip show. So 50 Cent actually responded. You know, 50 has responded to Queen's Flip's material for a number of years. When he does something, 50 Cent usually sees it. So 50 Cent responded and said, lying. Liar. Liar. 50, what you're saying is not accurate. The man is not lying. He is taking you to school. He is telling you, we did this shit before you. Secondly, the cultural impact that Dipset had on New York City was more important than the cultural impact that G-Unit had on New York City. They were trendsetters. G-Unit did not set trends in the same way Dipset set trends. 50 Cent, you wore hardwood jerseys because of Dipset, all right? You wore NBA headbands because of Dipset, all right? You wore Mesquite because of Dipset, all right? You wore Mitchell and Ness hats because of Dipset, all right? You wore pink because of Dipset, all right? Or maybe you didn't wear pink personally, but you couldn't let your girlfriend go around Cameron because she might go home with him, all right? So what else? There are so many trends that Dipset started. Dipset had it. They had the streets before you did. They had custom Air Force Ones with the NBA teams going all around the front of the sneaker. They had Timberlands. They had air-painted Timberlands by New York's top graffiti artists. I'm not even going to shout out no graffiti artists right now, but New York's top ones. The same dudes that had the 2 and the 5 subway lines on Smash. Every rooftop. I'm talking about BTC, RGW, Real Graffiti. If you're not aware of what I'm talking about, it's not for you to know. If you did graffiti, you got buffed by somebody in those crews, so you know who they are. I don't have to tell you. Shout out to all the graffiti writers in the chat as well. I know my man Ism is up in here. Where my guy at? Salute. Shout out to all the graffiti writers, though, in the chat. So like I was saying, 50 basically commented on the Queen's Flip page saying he's lying. You know, when 50 Cent says something, people don't second guess it. People say In the Club is the best song in the world. Jim Jones has to be lying. He's got to be lying because nobody really questions 50 Cent. They just don't. They just don't. You know what I mean? When 50 Cent says, I didn't dry snitch on Supreme, everyone says, yeah, you're right. You're just hating on 50 Cent. Well, go listen to Ghetto Quran. What do you call that? Look, I'm not going to go up there. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there right now. I'm just not. The thing is, 50 Cent has this thing called believability, where people just believe him without fact checking. he has one of those fan bases that aren't doing a lot of fact checking. You know what I mean? And he has a large portion of fan base that is not really hip hop heads. You know what I mean? A large portion of his fan base probably came from Eminem. Eminem started making music like I'm the real Slim Shady. Yes, I'm the real Slim Shady prior to that. And some people didn't even know what the hell was going on in hip hop until that point. He brought a lot of people into hip hop, is what I'm saying. People that might not even have been interested in hip hop in the first place. The reason they call 50 Cent Curtis, though, is because of Cameron. Dipset. So let's not pretend. You see, Curtis Jackson, he got clowned so hard. He said everyone is yelling Curtis. Curtis! Everyone is yelling Curtis everywhere I go. Cameron messed up my street cred. I want to call myself 50 Cent, the gangster from Fort Greene, but Cameron made it difficult. So I'm not going to allow him to use it against me. I'm going to call myself Curtis now. I'm just going to call myself Curtis so it doesn't matter if everywhere I go they call me Curtis. So it won't be as funny anymore. Then they'll have to think of a new name. So 50 Cent named his album Curtis to capitalize on that, you guys. He named his album Curtis because of Cameron. Cameron literally made him shift what he was doing. His whole marketing strategy, the whole album he had intended to bring to Dr. Dre and Eminem. He was previously working on an album called Before I Self-Destruct. The heat in the streets was too hot. Cameron made you do that, 50. Jim Jones knows that. Everywhere you went, it irritated you. You can't outdiss Cameron either. You just can't. I'm sorry. This is the same dude that called out Jay-Z. You know what I mean? This is the same dude that called out Jay-Z for wearing chancletas and jeans. And he literally had the whole New York City dying laughing at him. 50, first of all, you can't dress. You think Cameron wouldn't have had a field day with you and your whole wardrobe? Cameron would have clowned the shit out of you and on any type of level, man. This guy was driving a pink Range Rover with pink fur and a pink hat to match. You know what I mean? The picture of him with a pink phone is still classic. People still use it as their emoji. The man has style. He knows that and he uses it to his advantage. He said he sold pink shower curtains and socks. He is an entrepreneur. Shower curtains, you guys. Yeah, shower curtains. So I don't know what Troy Ave is talking about, but Cameron was making money off of shower curtains. People have shower curtains, Troy Ave. People in the projects have shower curtains. People everywhere have shower curtains. But we get it. You haven't really been to the projects in a while anyways, man. Troy McElroy. In summary, Jim Jones is not a liar. Much love to the White Plains, New York, 914. In summary, Jim Jones is not a liar. As much as you want to hate on him, he has a point. When he's right, he's right. A better question, as I said, would be who started the mixtapes, Dipset or D Block? And I might do it in another episode if I feel like it. But 50, you don't belong in this conversation. And I feel like deep down, you know this too. You watched them come up and you were influenced by Dipset. You were like, Horses and Carriage, Mason Betta. You kind of sound like Mace 250 on some of your hooks. You know what I mean? Can't nobody tell me you don't, 50. So let's just be real. Let's be real. We all know Children of the Corn, short for Children of the Corner. It was a group with Big L, Herb McGruff, and y'all can check out my interview with Herb McGruff too. It's out now. Since y'all people, you got all y'all got to say is, oh, is Bangum Smurf content? That's all you drop is Bangum Smurf content. Y'all check out some of my new content before you come in here running your jibs in my chat. No, you didn't though, did you? Go run my views up. I got Rizzy, J Hood's day one, exposing the shit out of him. Math Hoffa doesn't want to talk about that though. You're not gonna believe the shit he's saying. But then I got people in chat like Mikey T. All you talk about is Bangum Smurf, and y'all gonna be amazed at who I got on next. Someone that actually knows 50 Cent real good. But I won't drop no names. I'm going to just make sure y'all subscribe. I mean, you won't see Hassan Campbell interviewing these dudes that I'm interviewing. But yeah, so in summary, Jim Jones is right. And 50 could say he is lying, but that doesn't mean he is a liar. And again, Jim Jones wouldn't lie about some shit like this. You know what I mean? It's some shit that he is telling you. The internet was around. I remember when YouTube came out. You can go on this website, guys. It's called google.com, and you can see for yourself. And if you don't believe me, Jim Jones doesn't lie. It's not in his character. He's one of the most straightforward people. Appreciate everybody that tapped in on this live stream tonight. Wanted to give you all a special episode. Everybody on here, follow me on Instagram, Mikey T _ the movie star. If you follow me, I will follow you back, man. Definitely appreciate everybody tapping in. Peace.